Thank you guys for coming back to I've Got Next. Today I have a special topic, which is mental health in the workplace. I've gotten a lot of questions and I don't know how to answer them all. So today I have a therapist that I would bring on, and I'm going to start a series once a month. I'm going to have at least one therapist on my show to help with different mental health issues that you guys are asking. So today I have LaShonda Lane Gamble. Did I say that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, I got that right. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, so my name is LaShonda. I am a licensed professional counselor. I have a private practice or a group practice. I have several therapists that work for me in the state of Georgia. And I also have a nonprofit called Heal that helps people heal mind, body, and spirit. So I am just out here in different ways trying to one, break the stigma associated with mental health, and then also just helping people heal because it's a journey. So I am here to assist with that. And I've also started trying to explain what I do in a way of wounds. And so when you have physical wounds, you go to a medical doctor, you're going to the emergency room. Well, I'm the doctor that helps with the invisible wounds. And so I am able to help people to heal what's going on internally and in their mind and just give them some tips and guidance on their journey.
Okay, okay. So how did you get started? Like what made you want to go into this particular area of practice?
So I actually started off before I went back to school to get my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I started off as a case manager. And what I was doing was helping people to stabilize their housing. So these are individuals who are like behind on rent, about to get evicted. I'm helping them to by using a grant and paying those past due amounts. And what I found was that the individuals were coming back. So I would assist them with paying their rent, and they were still coming back in the same situation again. And I was like, there has to be something else going on here. And so I started digging a little deeper with those clients that I was doing case management with, and I realized that there was deeper rooted trauma. We can create a budget all day. It's hard to follow and implement a budget when there are deeper rooted issues there, and a lot of times things that happen in childhood were just impacting their behaviors and how they were spending their money as an adult. And so once I realized that, I was like, I want to help with those deeper rooted issues. That made me go back to school to become a therapist. And it ultimately guided my journey in eventually opening my own practice where I could have both therapists and clients feel safe in an environment that we are just coming together to help each other heal.
Okay, okay. So how long have you been doing it?
Oh, over 10 years now. Well, I'm sitting here trying to count. Over 10 years now. I absolutely love what I do. And it's like I get to help other people with a journey that they could have been struggling with on their own. So sometimes I lose count of how long I've been doing it, but yes, definitely over 10 years.
Okay, so it seems really rewarding. But
Definitely.
what do you do when it's hard? Because you help people with their mental health, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm imagining that there's a lot of people who dump some things on you and you help them with it. And then what do you do when you have all of this weight on you from hearing others? Like, what do you do for your mental health?
Okay, so I had to learn this along the way. I did not really understand how to do this in the beginning. So early in
Okay.
my career, I was bringing things home. I was bringing the work home with me. I was bringing the sadness home with me. Sometimes I had children. I see both children and adults. So sometimes I was even really wanting to bring the children home with me. Like, let me go take them out of this situation. I had to learn how to separate. And with that came one, I incorporate spirituality into my therapy as well if the client wants to. But in my own life, my spirituality is a big part of that. So what I started doing is praying, asking God how to release some of these things for myself. And then also just making sure that I have some self-care routines. I am going on vacation. The whole I can sleep when I die. That's not me. I'm getting my rest now because otherwise I'm not going to be able to help anyone. I take my vacations regularly. I'm going to get massages. That for me is a big release right there physically. Because a lot of the weight that I carry, it tends to kind of build in my body. So my neck, my shoulders, they're tense. And massages really help me with that. I love water. I'm going to the beach. And sometimes water itself can be my therapy. And
Okay.
I'm just making sure that if I have to put it on my schedule, I really will. So being intentional about implementing those things in my life is how I've been able to handle that weight.
Okay. So, as a business owner, how do you help other people who work for you with the same thing? Because the reason, what I'm going to get to is I'm going to try to get some of these businesses to incorporate some of the things. I've
Okay.
been with companies who will give you, hey, once a month they give you a free day, go do something. And I'm like, what is this? It was so foreign to me that I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be working. They're like, no, turn your computer off and go do something. Like, so how do you incorporate that for the people who work for
So that is something that I make sure I bring up in our staff meetings. One, I'm leading by example. When I'm taking breaks, I typically let my staff members know. And I'll tell them why, like, hey, you guys, I am overwhelmed and I am going to take a few days off. And I give them guidance on how to, of course, keep the business moving without me while I'm on break. But being transparent and saying, "Hey, I'm overwhelmed too." I get to the point where there is a level of weight that I'm like, I have to release this. So I think one, just me being transparent,
you? Okay.
is guidance for my therapist to say, if LaShonda can take a break, so can I. I'm just hoping to lead by example in that way. And then in our staff meetings, that is something that we address. I encourage them to take breaks. When my therapists reach out to me and they're overwhelmed, I'm like, take the day off. It's nothing wrong. We tell our clients to have mental health days. We tell them it's okay to take a break. So it is sometimes is unfortunately sometimes foreign for therapists too. Even though we're telling other people how to do this and walking them through it, we don't always implement it for ourselves. And so I have to remind my therapist, hey, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So whatever that looks like for you, I need you to go do it. If that's a massage, if that's the day off, if that is, you going to talk to a therapist, because the therapist needs a therapist too. You need someone pulling you up. You need a coach or something that's going to be able to be there for you when you're having those issues. So one, I do hope that me just being transparent is an example, but then two, literally telling my staff, take the break when you need it. Because sometimes we're so concerned about like what's going to happen with the business. Okay, I told you spirituality is a big part of my life. God will keep dreams and visions going. I need you to take care of yourself.
Right.
At the end of the day, the agencies and the companies that we may work for, trust me, they will continue to go. They need you to take a break so that you can come in and do what you're supposed to be doing in your position. And so I hear you saying that it was foreign when someone told you take a break. Once I get back into a building, well, if I go back into a building right now, we're completely virtual. During the
Okay.
pandemic, I let go of my office space, and we have been working virtually ever since. If I go back into a building, though, there's something that I saw that I want to implement. We're going to have a nap room. I saw that. I can't remember what company it was, but Let me tell you, a nap can make a difference in your mood. If you are not well rested, how are you going to help anybody else? How are you going to be productive? And so that is something that I would hope that I can implement when we get back into a physical space, nap room, meditation room. Go sit down, get some aromatherapy, play some soft music, and just breathe, because you are going to be more productive for me as a staff member when you are in a good place, when you're well and you're whole. So I want to encourage my staff to do that. And I would encourage any business owner to do the same thing. Your staff will be more productive if you invest in them and their mental health and their wellness. And so if you have businesses that are interested, I can definitely do some consultations and come up with plans on how they can even help their staff to make sure that their wellness is a priority.